This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 4, it began with the signal, white smoke billowing from the Sistine Chapel, and then the words the world was waiting to hear.
Habemus Papam.
Habemus Papam, Latin for we have a pope. And then we met the new pontiff, U.S. Cardinal Robert Prevost, born in Chicago, the first ever American to be named pontiff, now known as Pope Leo XIV, and the excitement spread quickly around the world.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I love the Pope. It's America. I love the Pope.
It's completely unbelievable. I'm still trying to process. I'm still trying to digest what just took place.
Good afternoon. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Juan Fernandez, and this is KCAL News at 4, streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. And our top story this afternoon, the introduction of Pope Leo XIV. You are looking live at Vatican Square right now, where it's 1 a.m. The crowds have gone, but the wait is over. After just a day and a half, the Cardinals elected the first ever American Pope.
KCAL's Bradley Blackburn is in Vatican City with the history made in more ways than one.
White smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel, a signal the Cardinals had elected a new pope. The crowd in St. Peter's Square erupted in cheers, then waited in suspense for the announcement.
Habemus Papam.
Habemus Papam, we have a pope, and the world's first look at the new pontiff. Emerging from St. Peter's Basilica, Robert Prevost becomes the first American pope in history, taking the name Leo XIV. His first words, peace be with you all.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Prevost is seen as a progressive on many social issues. Overall, he's viewed as a centrist. Like Pope Francis, Prevost has spent time embracing marginalized groups like the poor. He has dual citizenship between the U.S. and Peru, where he served for years.
This is an extraordinary moment for American Catholics, seeing Leo XIV on the balcony, the first pope born in the United States, who is now spiritual leader for nearly 1.5 billion people.
He's the least American. I mean, that's, I think, what made him electable.
As crowds rushed into the square, a surge of emotion caught up with Tammy Harper.
It's just everything.
Once in a lifetime.
It is a once in a lifetime, and
for us to be here in this moment.
Just so blessed and grateful.
For the crowds watching and waiting, it was a once in a lifetime thrill.
What are you hoping for in the man that comes out on that balcony?
Peace, kindness, humanity.
In the seconds before the white smoke, a baby bird tested its legs next to the chimney, a classic symbol of rebirth as the Catholic Church begins a new chapter. Bradley Blackburn, KCAL News.
And celebration and excitement for Catholics here in Southern California. They're hopeful about the new Pope's leadership.
KCAL's Luz Delia Caballero at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels, where it's not just the Pope's American roots being celebrated.
It's a day of celebration and prayer following the announcement Cardinal Robert Prevost has become the first American pope, choosing the name Leo XIV.
It was a shock.
Father Juan Ochoa says he really didn't expect the conclave to elect an American as pope.
When I heard his name, I said, there's no way that we have an American pope.
Adding the American-born pope, who's also spent years in Peru, also made history with the way he addressed the world for the first time.
He spoke in Spanish. He addressed his diocese in Peru, and then he went back to Italian.
Pope Leo XIV served in Chiclayo, Peru, not far from Lima, which is where Ana Felix is from.
Super emotional. I'm very proud of it. I was praying yesterday and this morning, and thanks God, hopefully everything goes good for all the world.
Adding representation matters.
I'm so happy.
Many faithful coming to the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels to pray for Pope Leo XIV, optimistic that he will bring peace to the world.
I think it's beautiful, wonderful. God bless him.
Ana Perez lives in Venice and says she's excited that we now have an American pope.
I hope he runs the world beautifully and inclusive, and he's as open to what we're living now.
Pope Leo, our Augustinian brother, is a man of heart.
Father Sarfraz alum met Pope Leo XIV during formation.
Very kind, very humble, and very down-to-earth personality the one who listens.
And Archbishop Jose Gomez also reacted to the news, saying Pope Leo XIV understands what immigrants and migrants go through.
He really understands what is the reality of the different cultures in the United States, and how those cultures are a real blessing.
Adding he believes the new Pope's perspective will help him lead with compassion. In downtown Los Angeles, Lustelia Caballero, KCAL News.
CBS Chicago's Sabrina Franza sat down with a former colleague of the Pope and spoke about what his papacy might look like.
He's a person who's very sensitive and is concerned to allow everyone to have a voice.
Father Mark Francis studied with Cardinal Robert Prevost.
Cardinalis Prevost.
The two were seminary classmates at the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago from 1978 until 1982. They also both worked in Rome in the early 2000s.
He's not a showboat. He is very calm, but extremely intelligent and extremely compassionate.
What are your hopes for the next Pope?
I think coming together as a Christian community that we're best able to read the signs of the times and figure out what we need to do as church.
Prevost is seen as a progressive on many social issues. Overall, many view him as a centrist. Like Pope Francis, Prevost has spent time embracing marginalized groups such as the poor. He has dual citizenship between the U.S. and Peru.
Would that papacy look similar to that of Pope Francis?
It would be similar in terms of basic goals, I think. That the kind of style he would bring to the papacy would be calm, steady, very direct kind of guidance.
Right now, Prevost lives in Rome, overseeing the selection of new bishops all over the world. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago.
President Trump congratulating the now former Cardinal Prevost on his election as Pope. The president spoke outside the White House today, moments after the big announcement.
To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor.
President Trump says the Vatican has reached out to him and he plans to meet Pope Leo XIV.
And be sure to stay with KCAL News for continuing coverage of the election of the first American Pope in the history of the Catholic Church.
All right, if you've stepped outside, you know it's feeling a bit warmer, and it's going to heat up even more.
That's right. Meteorologist Evelyn Taft is here now, and Ev, we're heading into our next weather
That's
alert,
right.
but today,
yeah,
gorgeous outside.
Unbelievable
Right.
outside today. That is right. I mean, temperatures warmed up, but they're getting so much warmer that we are actually hitting triple-digit heat. So let's talk about this next weather alert that you were just referring to. So Friday and Saturday, we're expecting a burst of heat. This next weather alert is up for the IE. For the inland valleys and the Antelope valleys, we're expecting temperatures to climb into the 90s and triple digits now, possibility in the Inland Empire as well. So let's take a closer look at what's happening right here. Temperatures will be about 15 to 20 degrees above average, of course. We just want to stay vigilant as temperatures continue to heat up over the next couple of days. So a large ridge of high pressure is continuing to build across Southern California. It's going to be some of the warmest days that we've seen all year. So since January, and temperatures will be up to 20 degrees above average for this time of year. As we look at the hottest days, you'll see 94. That's right, for San Bernardino. 98 by Saturday, and could even inch up into the triple digits. That's certainly a possibility. We're going to break down all the numbers, though, coming up in your full next weather forecast in just a little bit. Amy, Juan, back to you.
Evelyn, thanks so much. Two teens are behind bars after a deadly fight and triple stabbing outside Santa Ana High School. Police say their parents brought them in overnight. And as KCAL's Michelle Geely reports, investigators are still trying to figure out what led to the violence.
We just want as much justice as we can get, even though we know he's not going to come back, but we just want justice for him.
Family, friends, and classmates crowded around a memorial for 14-year-old Armando Morales at Santa Ana High School. The boy has been identified as the student who was stabbed to death near the campus entrance after school Wednesday.
I know there's nothing to say right now to a parent that lost their child, and there's nothing that I feel that I could say to my child to comfort them and to feel what they're feeling.
Santa Ana police say two brothers who attend Santa Ana High were also stabbed during the fight. They're in stable condition. A 15 and a 17-year-old were arrested, according to officials, for suspicion of murder and attempted murder. They are brothers who are also students at the school.
There's a lot of video surveillance regarding the incident. It shows a very large altercation between several male students, at which you see a lot of hands kind of being thrown up in the air, and it appears that one of the suspects produced a knife and stabbed several of the victims. We're still trying to figure out what kind of led to this altercation, but we do know that this incident kind of stems from something that could possibly be gang-related.
Armando Morales' cousin insists he wasn't in a gang, but was simply trying to protect his friends.
He's always been a nice kid, and he just wanted to help out, and unfortunately, he didn't make it.
Gina Salinas kept her daughters home from school partly because of talk about fights on campus and rumors about more violence. The school district says it's aware of the rumors and has beefed up police presence, but has not identified an active threat.
We do have assistance from Santa Ana Police, and we also have other patrol officers from our district police who are here, either just in the parking lot just to be visible, or in the school just kind of making themselves visible too.
In Santa Ana, Michelle Geely, KCAL News.
The Mississippi man accused of stalking actress Jennifer Aniston has been ordered to stay 100 yards away from her and her house. This was 48-year-old Jimmy Wayne Carlwile's first court appearance since allegedly slamming his car into Aniston's front gate in her home at Bel Air on Monday. We're told she was home at the time. Her security team kept Carlwile away from her until police arrived.
Security has the suspect at gunpoint. Suspect vehicle is a gray PT Cruiser, Mississippi plate.
Carlwile will undergo a mental health evaluation before the case moves forward. He faces up to 3 years in state prison if convicted of felony vandalism and stalking.
A plea for support.
A cherished Altadena mausoleum damaged in the Eaton fire, getting some help with restoration, while much more is still needed.
Then would you test your beliefs against a chatbot? See how AI is changing the way some people think.
Well, a mission is underway to revive a cherished sanctuary from the ashes of the Eaton fire.
The historic Mountain View Mausoleum has been closed to the public since January, but as KCAL News reporter Jasmine Veal found out, a nonprofit is leading the march to clean it up and get it reopened.
Armed with brooms, HEPA vacuums, sponges, and determination, a professional cleaning crew descends upon the marble floors, the dirty stained glass, and silent crypts inside the 60,000 square foot Mountain View Mausoleum in Altadena. It's day one of a massive undertaking by the Restoring Lives Foundation to return this 100-year-old mausoleum to what it was before the Eaton fire left it covered in toxic soot and ash.
It looks clean to the untrained eye, then you'd look at it now.
Brett Lawton started the Restoring Lives Foundation 3 years ago through his construction company to help support recovery efforts in disaster-stricken communities.
Deployed down here, and then we started finding out that a lot of projects weren't being covered by insurance, which is becoming more and more common.
Like this mausoleum, which does not have enough funds through its endowment care to cover the delicate and numerous repairs needed.
You can see all these walls contain the bodies of family members, of loved ones. We constantly get telephone calls from families who want to come and pay their respects, and we can't let them in.
Bob Richter, the COO of Mountain View Cemetery and Mortuary, says before Lawton's help to cover the cleanup costs, they didn't know how they were going to do it. They had already started repairing the cemetery, which had acted as a fire break.
The fire came into our property about 3 yards and then went away. But we suffered extreme smoke damage, both in the buildings over there and the mausoleum behind me.
On every ledge, on every horizontal surface, and now even on the vertical surfaces, the discoloring of smoke, soot, and ash.
Franco Bursino runs the disaster response team with Lawton Construction and says they did not want to waste any time getting to work despite still trying to raise donations.
The magnitude of this job has everyone's full attention.
They expect this mausoleum to be completely restored within the next 6 months, but they say they plan to open it in phases so that people can return here before that to see their loved ones.
All right, we're good?
And now a generous gift to bring this sacred space back to life. In Altadena, Jasmine Veal, KCAL News.
A significant moment for the Catholic Church, resonating with local students as the world watches history unfold with the election of the first ever American pontiff. The announcement today signaled a new chapter for the Catholic Church, presenting a unique opportunity for education that no textbook is required.
That's right. And KCAL's Joy Benedict talked to local Catholic school students about witnessing history firsthand.
As white smoke spilled over the rooftop, the crowd outside the Vatican cheered, and these local high school students did the same.
Everyone was freaking out. We're like, oh man, we have a new pope.
And when Pope Leo XIV walked out on a balcony, many here at Damien High School in Laverne were in disbelief.
I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know it would be an American pope. Even our teacher freaked out. He was like, what? This has never happened before. This is very cool.
Cool, because for the first time ever, the Conclave elected a pope born in America.
I think it's a great time to get a step forward for not only just the Catholic faith in general, but a representation of America as a whole.
Damien is an all-boys high school of about 700 students, and although everyone here isn't Catholic, these young men say you don't have to be to understand the significance of this moment.
It's gonna put Catholicism in a great direction. America is known for its pluralistic society where a bunch of different cultures and people are valued. So hopefully if the Pope brings even a fragment of that to the way that he leads, it's going to be a great reflection for Catholicism.
These students hope the new Pope carries the ideas of Pope Francis even further and focuses on the younger members of the faith.
If the youth isn't advocated for, if we aren't put out there and really have those events to help us grow in our own faith and religion, there won't be a Catholic faith in the future.
They are like, oh, a pope that speaks their language.
Father Eric Cruz is the chaplain here. He says having these students see a pope that resembles them will help ignite their faith.
They feel more connected now to the church, especially now in the U.S.
But let's be honest, these are teenagers, so they have other hopes too, like speaking English at the Vatican.
I think it'd be kind of cool to see that, to sort of show his American roots like that. I think it'd be very cool to see him actually at a Chicago game.
I do too. Like in his Pope robe.
I hope he comes back.
Sitting like courtside.
It'd be cool if he had like a jersey on.
And they know the new Pope has to represent the world, not just America. So they understand that his allegiance is also elsewhere.
He has dual citizenship. He's a very cosmopolitan person, so he's definitely going to be a pope for the world.
One whose message is already clear.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Peace for the world. A message that doesn't require faith to understand. Joy Benedict, KCAL News.
And this was the scene at J. Sarah Catholic High School in San Juan Capistrano this morning. Students gathering together outside in prayer. They watched the live stream of the smoke at the Sistine Chapel in their classrooms.
Governor Gavin Newsom and first partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom also congratulating Pope Leo on his election to head of the church, releasing a statement that reads in part, "In a fractured world, we pray his voice becomes a bridge between faiths, nations, and beliefs, and a force for peace rooted in our shared community." Stay with KCAL News for continuing coverage of the election of the first American Pope in the history of the Catholic Church.